little while since your accident. You've been watching the races from home. Tell me how you're feeling.
A lot of thoughts go through my head, just many things that I could do different, being in the race, being in that time, and what I could do different. But I watch the race and I try to take notes on everything, every rider, and just try to see what works better for the horse. So when I get back, I'm back in routine.
Now, from a physical perspective, what are you doing each day? What's the current rehab like, and what's the game plan next?
Well, I'm still waiting on my doctor's appointment. I got it on the 2nd of April for my lung. And then I got to get one more lax x-ray to make sure it's all healed up, and I'm ready to roll. Hopefully by mid-May, I'm guessing, I'll be back on the track. And yeah, get rolling again.
So what's a current workout for you right now to stay a little bit physically active?
Well, as of now, all I'm doing is treadmill, so at least an hour a day on it. And at least on speed walks, trying to get speed walks, trying to get a good 20 minutes sweat, and then the rest just walk it off easy. But I mean, it's still a little feeling on the top part when I try to do the elastics, the pull-ups. It's a little bit tight on the muscles, but I think I'll be back pretty good once I start, getting back in shape and start doing everything all over how I was working with. I went from being maybe 3 hours at home to now being full-time dad. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but I miss being on the road and I miss riding races. That's the main thing we're here for.
Like a horse on stall rest, right? You develop some bad habits when you're inside for too long.
You're right.
You're a relatively young rider here, though older than some of your fellow apprentices. What riders do you look up to in the room?
The main one that I look up to is a lot Ruben Silvera. He's always looked out for me and on my family, and he's always been very helpful since the start and before I started. And he was one of the main persons that pushed me on to ride. So whenever I have a question or I have something to ask, I go to him, and he responds to me very clearly, and he's very open with everything, and he's a great friend.
And he's no stranger to spending some time on the sidelines as well. Has he given you advice while you're watching from home and taking your time to heal?
Oh yeah, I can say he's like a mentor to me now, and I really didn't appreciate that. Like, I didn't really see that as much, but now that I've been out sitting, he calls me every week, he checks up on me and just talks to me and try to not let me get into my head, and he tells me things to do, ways to get through, and more about eating, because we're just sitting down and all I think about is eating. All I do is cook now. I just cook for my family. I love to cook. That's one thing I always love to do, is cooking.
What do you miss the most about this is just the day-to-day of the racetrack?
Well, honestly, I still wake up at 5 in the morning. I still wake up that same routine. I mean, as a groom, I used to wake up at 4:30, so it's always been that program of my mind, just waking up around that time, that routine. And now I wake up at 5 still, and I usually have a cup of coffee at 5:20, then go to the track and start things, look at my schedule. But that's one main thing I miss, getting on horses in the mornings and just going through the schedule, talking to people and smiling at everybody. It's one thing I miss.